What's good, YouTube? It's me, Croc Thrasher. Monster Hunter Wilds has been out for a few months now, and I wanted to talk about the state of Monster Hunter. I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff that the community has issues with, the negative reviews, the cheaters, the modders, the drip feed content, and much more. Without any more delay, let's go. Monster Hunter has always had its fair share of controversies and issues over the years, ever since it went mainstream with World a couple years back. But now, when looking at Wilds, it seems like everybody has a bone to pick with Wilds. So let's see why that is. Looking at the reviews on Steam as a baseline, it's not looking too good for little old Monster Hunter. One review says, unplayable in its current state. Game crashes every 10 minutes, 20 minutes using a 5060 Ti. If you think it'll be different for you, it won't. Look at the reviews with the 100 hours. These are the people that are dedicated to the game. They want to love the game, but they can't because of the endless issues with the performance and gameplay, lack of content / hunts being too easy. Even the positive review says the game has a lot of issues. Wait for the game to go on deep sale. By then, the game will have better balance, have more content, and hopefully have its performance issues resolved. Monster Hunter Milds, way too short, too easy, too streamlined, too expensive, and runs like trash. Dang, man. Milds is crazy. Save your money. The game needs to cook for an additional 1 to 2 years and get an expansion like Sunbreak or Iceborne. Damn, bro. Before it's worthy of its current price. Sheesh. If you really want to try out Monster Hunter, then get Monster Hunter World with Iceborne DLC instead. An absolute amazing package worth every penny. Gameplay is absolutely great, but the kid whose story we follow is not good at all. Hey man, leave little Nata alone, bruh. Well, leave him alone. So it seemed like a lot of people had a lot of issues with the crashing, the performance issues on their PC rig. I mostly play on console, so I don't experience much crashing, if not any. But I do understand why people feel justified that the game is just unfinished because of due to the performance, due to the drip feed content. We're gonna get into that soon, due to many other plethoras of issues, and Capcom, I don't know what they're doing, but they're not doing this game justice. If you want to see my opinions on the matter, you can watch this video right here. I go a little bit in depth on my issues with the game, like prestige not being in the game, nothing to do, drip feed content, the gathering hub not being added, and I go in depth with my little issues. So if you want to check that out, the link would be in the description and at the end of the video. Before we get on to the next topic though, I do want to talk about how Capcom on their Twitter page, I don't go on Twitter much, but on their Twitter page, they apparently told us how to get rid of our shaders, which I think is ridiculous because they're supposed to be technically in charge of that with just an update. So I don't know what they're doing, man. It's just it's just goofy, man. The whole situation is just goofy. Telling your fans, your players, how to get rid of files, like, bro, just update the game and just do it yourself. You know what I mean? Does it not work like that? I don't I don't know, man. Taking a look at this timeline, what does this tell you? To me, this tells me that World got more content added quicker than what Rise and Wilds are receiving. Now, the end game for World, I'm not gonna go too depth with it, but the end game for World was basically Streamstones, comboed with Kolv Tarov, comboed with fighting tempered monsters and tempered investigations, and they were unique because every investigation, not gonna say every investigation was different, but most of the time, if you had different monsters and different tempered and different stars and stuff like that, different levels of tempered, they ended up being different. So it felt like a lot of replayability there. Versus Wilds, which was I didn't play much Rise in game. I kind of just waited for the expansion. But for Wilds, current is just fight tempereds, get the Ardian weapons, and then just RNG roll the Ardian weapons until you get the perfect one for each element, which is, I don't know, man. It's not enjoyable for me personally, but that's neither here nor there. Also, the second title update for World was Kolv Tarov. That was a very huge deal because Kolv Tarov is it's a siege, so a lot of teamwork needed to go into. It was one of the first sieges, like the way it was designed in Monster Hunter. Obviously, there's been sieges in Monster Hunter, but they didn't work how Kolv Tarov worked, and you know it was a big deal because you would do the siege. If you failed the siege, it dictated the level of reward you would get, and the rewards you would get would be these special KR weapons. There'll be gold and whatever, you know. It was cool. It was cool. Having a siege to do and wait for the expansion. Also, you could do tempered monsters if you don't want the KR weapons for the streamstones. You could, I think, you could enhance the KR weapons with streamstones too. That was also a thing. I'm pretty sure. But the fact that we had a siege that we can sink in, you know, hundreds of hours into doing the same thing over and over again, and also can do other things outside of that, that was enjoyable for me, at least for when that was the thing to do. Now, the first title update with Wilds, we got one, technically two new monsters and a buffed up version of Arc. What's his name? Ray Dow. Almost said Arkveld. We got a buffed up version of Ray Dow, the Arch Tempered Ray Dow. We got Mizutune and Zoshia. Technically, Zoshia is not a new monster. We fight him before, but uh, I'm gonna just say he's basically a new monster. We get the festival update. Should have been in the game. The Gathering Hub should have been in the game from day one, but whatever. The second title update, or in between now, we get the Street Fighter collab where you can punch around as I think his name is Kuma. I don't play too many Street Fighter. Sorry. I think his name is Kuma though. And then on the second title update, we're getting Lagiacrus. And so far, that's all I know is coming to the game. Now, if Lagiacrus, like, bro, players have been hyping up Lagiacrus like crazy. So, over like years, man. So, if this is like bad, yo, this is gonna be, the floodgates are gonna open, and it might be over for a while if somehow they fumbled Lagiacrus, because there's no underwater combat, and Lagiacrus is like the king of the sea or some shit. So I don't know, man. This could be extremely overhyped just for him to like not be that good. The game's been out for, I want to say, at least 4 months. I don't really know the exact number on that, but it's been out for a while, and we still don't have layered weapons. We still don't have a siege. They've been talking about buffing Hammer for like 2 months. Still hasn't happened. Like, Capcom, what are we doing? The state of your game is abysmal right now. What are we doing, my brother? Please fulfill the promises that you have said that you would do. the drip feed event quests for the people who need to catch up. Those quests have not really been that great for the people who have already been in game. It's mainly for those. Most of the event quests that have been added in recent times have been for people who need to catch up or want to catch up in like materials and some and of the sort. Another thing that I have an issue, or that the community has an issue with, not me. Um, like I said, you can watch that video that I posted a while ago. But issues that the community have had is that the open worldness of the game, where like you have to wait for the monster to spawn in the map to make an investigation. There's not enough monsters for that, and being released one new like we got released Mizutune, and then we're getting released like Lagiacrus, right? You think two monsters in two probably different zones. Actually, no, they're probably gonna both be in the forest, but they're both. You seeing what I'm getting at? There, like, there's two monsters just added to the full pool of the monsters that can be in the world for you to find an investigation. It's not enough. We need more new monsters. This is supposed to be their most creative, environment, ecology game, whatever you want to call it, and yet there's not enough monsters. It's like, I think the base roster had 29 monsters. Not enough for what they're trying to go for with the, open up the map, finding the monster that you're looking for, and resting at the camp and getting it reset. It's not enough monsters to be doing that. And also, there's not enough. There's no bait system like there was in the Guiding Lands, where you could just like forcefully bring out a monster that you want to bring out. There's no bait system. So yeah. So that is what's going on in Monster Hunter Wilds as this moment of the drip feed content. It's just not enough. It's just plain and simple. It's just not enough. I'm pretty sure World had more monsters. I'm pretty sure Rise had more monsters. Yes, World and Rise had Elder Dragons. Maybe that's what this game needs. Maybe it needs Elder Dragons. I don't know. But for a game that doesn't have Elder Dragons, that's supposed to be like a lot of base monsters, you know what I mean? Like normal ecology type monsters. It's just not enough. And if they're going to keep releasing one monster and like one new monster that could roam in the world, it's just not enough. We need like at least 3. I think 3 monsters that can roam out in the world. You know what I mean? Like for like Mizutune, you have Mizutune, let's say like Koopeko, I think that's how you say it. The freaking bird that can like mimic roars. And then what? Deviljho. Boom. That's 3 monsters that could be in the, one in the desert, one in the forest, and one in the mix. Like, we need more than just one monster. And with Lagiacrus coming around, that's like the one new monster that's coming to the game that is going to be added to the roam list. So it's kind of weird how they're doing this. Now, cheaters apparently are running rampant on the PC client of the game, and therefore can probably affect the console versions of the game. Some some have experienced, modded quests where like the rewards you get for the quests are a little bit, too much for the normal means. Sometimes some modder or cheaters have modded their levels, modded to where you can one-shot the monsters, have modded or cheated where they're like they can apparently go in through the files of the game, and let's say like Lagiacrus is the next one, right? He's in the files, but he's not in the game. The modders slash cheaters, they can go into the files of the game, extract that file somehow, and be able to create a hunt using that file and have Lagiacrus fightable right now, and future content to future monsters fightable right now that aren't being released. This is crazy. I didn't know this was a thing. I haven't personally experienced That part I've experienced modded quests, um, but I've never experienced a modded quest where you would fight content that has yet to be released in the game. So if that's really a thing, that is insane, and that has to stop. Capcom has to find a way to stop this. I don't know if they have a way to stop this. I know that they have announced something with when they added the arena because they were afraid about the times, people modding the times, and I'm pretty sure that still is a thing. So be wary that there's a lot of cheaters. They're probably gonna ban people that have done that, and or even been around it. I don't know, man. It's such a touchy subject because, you know, cheat if you're modding slash cheating solo play, you're not affecting anybody. That's fine, right? I think that's fine. When I played Monster Hunter 3 Try on the Wii, and I had my homebrew channel, and I modded my joint, and you know I used to make my lobby, and I used to one shot monsters or one shot the parts that people needed, but I was like 10 years old when I did that. When 3 Try came when 3 Ultimate came out, I kind of like got over it. I think I was like 12 when I got over it when that happened, when that game came out, and I never cheated or modded ever since. The only game I modded was Rise, but well the grind in that game was a bit absurd. But I only modded the like my outfit and stuff like that. Not really too much, but just the outfit. But still, the fact that people can do that, like forcefully bring out files from the game that hasn't been released yet, is insane. And this is the state of Monster Hunter. This is what it is. This is where it's at. And um what do you think? What do y'all think? Do you think that the game is just fine? The game is fine. Yo, Croc Dasher, you're bugging, bro. What do you think? Or is the community wrong? Is the community right on their analysis of, what's wrong and what's right? You be the judge and tell me down in the comment section below. If you're wondering how I feel about Monster Hunter Wilds, be sure to click this video here. It'll tell you a little bit more about my issues with the game. Anyways, I hope I've explained this well enough. Anyways, much love. Stay safe and peace out.